Orient just announced a brand new collection for their 75th anniversary. On top of that, we have some great releases from many watch brands. My name is Oleg, that right there is Mr. Bond, and this is a weekly YouTube show where we talk about the latest watches being released. Now let's talk about this new Oris Aquis date, the New York Harbor Limited Edition 2. In 2022, Oris released this special edition of the Aquis, the New York Harbor Limited Edition, that was in partnership with non-profit groups in support of their Billion Oyster project, where essentially they wanted to restore some of the marine life in the New York harbor. Since the release of that watch, they restored 150 million oysters, which is super impressive in only 3 years. Now there's sort of the chapter 2 to the story with the new motif and the new case, because last year in 2024, the case of Aquis watches has been updated slightly. This version comes in a larger case, 43.5mm version, as opposed to the 41mm version for the previous release. It is about 13.1mm in case height, and it has a like-to-like distance of around 51mm. This one is still powered by the same caliber, the Oris 733, which is essentially a Sellita SW200. It beats at 4 Hz and it comes with roughly 41 hours of power reserve. The standout feature of this watch is clearly this aqua green mother of pearl dial with applied indexes. I think that looks excellent, and I like the combination of it and the rubber strap. In terms of the pricing and availability, this will be a limited edition to 2,000 pieces, and this watch is priced at 2,550 Swiss francs. Next, let's talk about the new Doxa and the Art of Time sub 200 Dune. Doxa watches needs no introduction. They have a very long history, started all the way back in 1889, and the Art of Time is their official AD in Caribbean. I think last year or 2 years ago, they did a special edition watch and it was very successful. So now this year there is another limited edition watch for this specific AD in Caribbean. As far as the case dimensions, they're the same as the classic sub 200, 42mm diameter, 13.8mm case height, and a 46mm like-to-like distance. As the name would suggest, it comes with 200 meters of water resistance, and the case is made out of stainless steel. This one is powered by the Sellita SW200 movement that beats at 4 Hz, and it comes with approximately 41 hours of power reserve. In terms of the things that are different between this model and the standard sub 200 are, of course, the dial and the bezel combination. I really like this dial. I think it looks excellent. It kind of has that grainy texture. It also has a bit of gradient effect. Overall, that looks really sharp, and the gilt accents on the bezel I think fit the overall design of this watch really well. As I mentioned, this will be a limited edition specifically for this AD. Only 100 pieces of this watch will be made. Now, if you're not in Caribbean, you can still order this watch. You just have to email them, and hopefully they have a watch allocated for you. Now, this will not be exactly an expensive watch, but it's also not as cheap as other Doxa models. This watch costs $2,100 US. Next, let's talk about the new Bulgari Octo Roma with the green dial. Bulgari Octo Roma is the sibling of Bulgari Octo Finissimo that kind of steals all of the spotlight, and this model here doesn't really get enough attention. It's a pretty cool model in its own right. I think it's kind of competing with something like an IWC Engineer, but at a better price point. So this watch is essentially the same watch as it was available before, but now it comes with the green dial. Before this release, the watch was available with the silver, gray, black, or blue dial options. As far as the case dimensions, they stayed pretty much the same, 41mm diameter, 9.1mm case height. These watches still come with 100 meters of water resistance, and they're still powered by the same movement, the caliber BVL191, which beats at 4 Hz, and it comes with roughly 42 hours of power reserve. This will not be a limited edition watch. It's part of the standard catalog, and this watch is priced at €7,900. Next, let's talk about the new Norqain Wild One Stan the Man limited edition. Stan Wawrinka is a tennis legend at this point. He is also the official spokesperson for Norqain watches, and now he has his own limited edition watch. It's limited to 85 pieces because Stan was born in 1985. In terms of the case of this watch, it's very unique. It has 25 different components, and it's made out of proprietary carbon fiber that Norqain makes themselves. It's a very complicated looking watch. It's also kind of a cool looking watch with that neon green to match the neon green on the tennis balls. In terms of the case dimensions, it's about 42 millimeters in diameter, 12.3 millimeters in case height, and 49.5 millimeters lug-to-lug distance. So this watch is on the larger side. However, it does feature the proper 200 meters of water resistance. In terms of the dial, it's open works because it's semi-skeletonized and it's powered by the movement caliber NB08S, which is a Celita based movement that they skeletonized. It still beats at 28,800 vibrations per hour or 4 Hertz, and it still comes with 41 hours of power reserve. In terms of the pricing and availability, as I said, this will be a limited edition to 85 pieces, and this watch is priced at 6,700 euro. Next, let's talk about the new Orient Stretto, the 75th anniversary collection. This year, 2025, marks the 75th anniversary of Orient, and in honor of that date, we got quite a few different limited edition and special edition watches. Now we got a whole new lineup with 6 different pieces, 3 of them being limited edition watches and 3 of them being the standard collection pieces. So first, let's talk about the limited edition watches. They all come with very similar dials, they just have slightly different features. So there's the day and night indication one, that one is limited to 2,500 pieces. There's the semi-skeletonized with the open heart, that one is limited to 2,800 pieces. And there's also the standard date. That one is the largest limited edition with 2,900 pieces. In terms of the case and the dimensions, the cases are all pretty much the same, just with the slightly different case sizes. So the day and night one is 41 millimeters in diameter. The semi-skeletonized one is 40.8 millimeters in diameter. And the date is 38.5 millimeters in diameter, and in terms of the case height, they're all around 11 millimeters. All cases are made out of stainless steel, and they all feature 50 meters of water resistance. As far as the movement powering these models is the caliber F6, which essentially beats at 3 Hertz, and it comes with roughly 40 hours of power reserve. Now, besides these limited edition watches, we also got 3 standard collection watches. They're all simple date complication ones, so we don't have the regular models for the open heart or the day and night complication one. It now comes with 3 different dial variations and slightly different bezels if you go for the gilt accents one. In terms of the pricing for these watches, we don't have the exact prices yet, but Orient says the prices will range between 365 euro and 500 euro. So probably the more complicated limited edition ones are on the higher side of that pricing range, and the simple date versions that are not limited edition is probably at the lower end of that price range. I think not a bad looking watch. If you like these watches, you'll be really happy with having more options now. Next, let's talk about the new Kurono Tokyo Vermilion Chronograph. Kurono Tokyo is a very interesting watch brand. They do these limited edition watches and they have developed quite a cult following. Now, this new chronograph is based on already existing version of the chronograph, but now it's available with this bright orange color. They're calling it the Vermilion, which looks really cool, and it does look very different from the standard version. In terms of the case dimensions, they stayed about the same: 38 millimeter diameter, 13.5 millimeter case height, and about 47 millimeter lug-to-lug distance. These watches come with 30 meters of water resistance, and they're powered by the Seiko caliber NE86, which is an automatic chronograph movement that beats at 4 Hertz, and it comes with 45 hours of power reserve. And it is a vertical clutch column wheel chronograph movement, which is really cool. I'm glad that the thickness of this watch is not too bad, especially for an automatic chrono. In terms of the design of this watch, I quite like it. I think it looks very sharp. The only thing that I'm not so crazy on is the release model for this watch. It will only be available from their boutique. They have one boutique in Tokyo, one boutique in Shanghai, and those are the only places where you can buy this watch, which is a bit of a shame. It's not like the Doxa that I just talked about, where you can actually email the AD and they will put one of the watches aside for you if they have any available. Here, you have to buy it in person at the store if these watches are available. I think a release strategy of this sort is just here to build up sort of the cult following around the brand and to raise the prices for other models, because watch speculators, of course, will flip these watches on websites like Chrono24 and eBay for a profit, which will raise sort of the prestige level of this brand. So that's not my favorite thing. But the pricing, I think, is okay. The watch is priced at around 3,500 euro. Next, let's talk about the new Maurice Lacroix Aikonic collection. Icon collection has been a very successful watch release for Maurice Lacroix. These watches are available in various complications, chronographs, time-only watches. They're also available with various dial variations as well as different case materials. Well, now we have this new unique collection in stainless steel cases with ceramic bezels and carbon dials. I think all of that kind of sounds cool, and it sounds very 2025, where you have watch companies mixing exotic materials together to give us something unique. In terms of the case dimensions, these watches are around 43 millimeters in diameter and 11 millimeters in case height. They're powered by the caliber ML1000 movement, which is developed in a collaboration with Soprod. It beats at 4 Hz and it comes with 60 hours of power reserve. Note, this is a chronometer spec movement, so it has an accuracy of plus or minus 4 seconds per day, which is really impressive, especially for a watch in this price point. This watch will be around 3,000 Swiss francs. I personally really like these watches. I like how they look. I like the direction that Maurice Lacroix is taking with their watches, but I know they're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, especially with these larger cases. Next, let's talk about Azuki and H. Moser and C Elements of Time collection. Until I read the press release for this model, I wasn't aware of this brand Azuki. Apparently, they're kind of a streetwear brand that have also launched their own NFT. I didn't even know NFTs were still a thing. I thought we left them behind in 2020 and 2021, but apparently people are still buying NFTs. And the designs for these watches for this collaboration are based on the Azuki's Elements of Time NFT series. So we have 8 different watches, 4 different dial variations available in time-only complication or with the tourbillon complication. Everything else about the watches stayed pretty much the same between the 2 versions. They still come in the same cases, 40mm diameter, 10.8mm case height, and they feature these diver style bezels, which is kind of rare for H. Moser watches. I'm not actually sure how I feel about that. I don't really think it belongs with this design, but maybe I'm wrong. Leave your comments below, let me know what you think about this design. Now, the movement is powering these watches are the H. Moser and C in-house movements. They're finished to a very high standard, and both versions feature a display caseback, so you can admire these movements. As far as the pricing of the watches go, they are quite expensive and very limited, so you only have 24 versions for each dial variation and each complication, and the prices are $25,000 for the time-only version or $75,000 for the tourbillon version. Pretty expensive watches, and I'm not sure if this is a collaboration that I would support from H. Moser. I think maybe this is too out of the box for them, but hey, maybe I'm wrong. I appreciate you watching this video all the way until the end. If you enjoyed it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more videos like this in the future, and leave a comment in the comment section below. Let me know what watch releases stood out to you. I always enjoy reading your comments. Thanks for watching this one, and we'll see you next time. Bye. And in case you're wondering, on my wrist today, I'm wearing the Nevada Grandchamp Depth Master. I just did a review of this watch. That video will be linked in the description below. Okay.